Hey everyone, this is Evan Price, physical therapist at the Dialed Endurance Lab, and today I'm going to talk to you about something that I like to call the cup theory. So, we have all heard of this stress hormone before that I'm going to mention quite a few times today, but what I want you to understand is that it's not as bad of a word as you think. That word is cortisol. So, cortisol is this sneaky stress hormone that is released from the adrenal gland and causes what some would say probably most of the problems with why you feel stressed, why training becomes hard at times, and just why in general you might feel lethargic, worn out after years of endurance sports or just life stress in general. So, how does this relate to something about a cup? First, you only have one cup as an endurance athlete. What I mean by that is you have one cup that stressors go into. You don't have three. You don't have family stressor cup, training stressor cup, and work stressor cup. It's all one system. Your body all operates in a hormonal pool that is into one system, not multiple. You can't flip the switch on and off all the time. So what does that mean throughout your day? So I'm going to give you a scenario, an example. Let's say you wake up at 4:30 a.m. It's been a tough day. Previous day, very stressful. You slept 4 or 5 hours. You jump on the treadmill. You try to get an hour-long run in and it feels absolutely terrible. Then you got to get the kids ready for school. You rush back off to work. Very little time off your feet. Boss's deadlines are getting in your head. You're starting to feel stressed. You start the same evening cycle back. You get home and you can't fall asleep. That was one stressor on top of another stressor on top of another without any rest or ability to pour that out. Those stressors, let them relax. How does cortisol factor into this? So, cortisol is important as an endurance athlete because it is actually a hormone that increases rapidly once you are an hour to about an hour and a half into a workout. Not as much in your shorter, high-intensity workouts, which is a bit misunderstood with it, but it is something that releases after extended aerobic effort. So, it's important for a few reasons. It's actually very important. It helps our sleep cycle. It's how we get up in the morning and get going. It is also how we regulate our own blood sugar, what we burn, either carbs, fats, or proteins, and then also works in to blood pressure throughout the day, your fight-flight response, and then also your stress cycle too. So as I feel more stressed, cortisol dumps into the system. Now, there's a few benefits there from cortisol that make it very, very important, but there's a few issues with it as well. So during a run, later into that run, you want cortisol in your system. You want that blood sugar and blood pressure being regulated by that hormone. But if you go on that hour run and then go straight into an incredibly stressful situation, no rest, not a lot of sleep that night, that's where you can run into some issues. This is where cortisol is constantly dumped into the system without any time for rest where you can dump it out. One cup, remember? One group of stressors goes into the same cup. That cortisol cannot be separated out. So it's a very important hormone, but also one that can give us a lot of issues long term. So remember that if you're an endurance athlete, life has become stressful, be very careful with using training to reduce that stress. It's always great to train. It's not always good to overtrain when you're in high stress situations. If you run into an issue though, always reach out to me. I would love to help any of you with this and start to understand that from a physical therapy point of view, we can look at you as the whole picture and not just your injured part at that time. Sometimes it is also how you're structuring your training and just stresses in life at that time. Hope you're all doing okay. Come and visit me at the Dialed Endurance Lab. If you have any questions or any issues, reach out to me and we can get you scheduled for some physical therapy. Hope you're all doing well. Bye.